I promise you, this video isn't boring, and these games certainly aren't either. Just because their palettes are limited doesn't mean their creativity is. In fact, all these games use their unique visuals to great benefit. Some are straight to the point, no frills. Others pack in more detail than you'd think is physically possible and look straight out of a dream. Others still feel uncomfortable, hostile even, with not a hint of vibrancy for you to hide behind. They don't let you off the hook. Now there is a scale here, a gradient if you will, to how strictly these titles follow the descriptor of monochromatic. Some truly do only use one color, and the rest have contrasting highlights here and there or swap color palettes throughout. So if you comment about that, I'll know you didn't watch the intro. Let's start with some new releases. Repose and White Knuckle. In one, you'll descend deeper and deeper into the facility. In the other, you'll climb further and further up the substructure. And in both, you feel trapped. How big is this place? How far do its walls stretch? What happens when I reach the end? Repose is a true monochromatic dungeon crawler where every step counts. Run out and it's game over, but you'll be able to gain progress by unlocking shortcuts to the next save point and learning how to navigate these maze-like corridors. Tension and intrigue is a phrase used on the game's Steam page, and that's the perfect way to put it, as the two-toned pixels quite literally draw you towards the center of the screen. This is further explored by quite an unusual save system in this day and age. If you want to close the game at any point, you'll have to write down your unique save code for wherever you are. The game won't do it for you, so it's best to have a pen and paper on hand. White Knuckle is one of the more unconventional climbing games out there, I'd say. It may or may not be out yet, but whenever April 17th is when you'll be able to play through its early access campaign. It's not just about speed and skill, there's a focus on resource and tool management, kind of turning it into a bit of a survival horror game. And you're not alone down here. Strange life flourishes far underground, and darker things haunt these halls. Each region has an equally dark and oppressive color scheme, and there are 3 out of a total planned 7 for you to explore at launch. Based on the demo, White Knuckle ain't exactly easy, and will definitely test your limits. Count me in. What do your dreams look like? Are they in full color or more muted? Do you even remember them for more than 60 seconds after you wake up? While these next few games are quite dreamy, or nightmarish depending on how you look at them. Peaks of Yore, another climbing game, this time set in... oh, sorry, that's the prototype footage. Peaks of Yore, another climbing game, this time set in the great outdoors, looks like a memory, a faded recollection of another time, another place. Whether you think it looks more like a dream or a nightmare is up to your own tastes and feelings about dangling precariously from great heights. But to me, it's just surreal enough, grand enough to remind me of my early childhood summer of 1887 spent hanging around the Great Gales Mountains. There's a color mode for those of you looking for a bit more realism, but I definitely think you lose something here. Sometimes it's best to leave something to the imagination. I'd call this one a lighthearted nightmare. The vibes are somewhat foreboding, but I don't know, I kinda trust her. Karimara, Beneath the Forlorn Limbs, is releasing next month on May 28th, and funny enough, the other upcoming game by the dev, Bastionus Rex, is bursting with all sorts of colors. It's really cool to see this contrast here. Karimara, though, is limited to these eerie purple and reddish-brown hues. Your goal is to conjure a ghost by exploring in and around this small cottage, collecting cards, and piecing the whole mystery together. Kinda creepy, I know, but then there's the stuff like this. All the textures and sounds made from recordings and photographs, which makes the game feel kinda wholesome. I think this is going to be sort of a grun situation where you're generally just chilling until something really weird happens. Inside and Limbo are also some great examples to mention in this dream segment. These are some of the first games I played when I built my PC, and they've managed to stick with me all this time. They still hold up 10 years later, and I never expected them to be so chilling. Simple puzzle platformers on the surface, with much darker ideas brewing beneath. And then a game that's just a straight up nightmare is Mundawn. Visually, it's sort of the evil counterpart to Peaks of Yore, but there are no funny physics-breaking climbing stunts here. Just 100% unsettling, off-putting vibes. Even more creepy though are the Bendy games. I played the demo for Bendy in the Ink Machine at one point before it was taken down, and yeah, that was enough for me. It's a great example for this video, don't get me wrong, but first-person horror is not my jam. Okay, I'll admit it, this video has been kinda dramatic so far. Here, let's lighten the mood a little. Hauntii is the story of a little ghost in the grandiose afterlife kingdom known as Eternity. Each environment you travel to has a specific color, but the whole game is drawn with this amazing doodle style and is just about as charming as it gets. You can interact with and haunt tons of objects and characters around you to momentarily inherit their skills and characteristics. You go around gathering collectibles, talking to other ghosts, playing minigames, very lighthearted and very, very pretty. Wormhole is pretty straight to the point. It's a snake-like arcade game set in space where you travel through portals, munch on planets, and choose from about a million different color palettes. Very quick and snappy, you just jump straight into the action, and the difficulty ramps up surprisingly quickly. You've got to think one step ahead in order to avoid crashing into a stationary wall you probably should have seen coming, and to plan your movements between portals, which will dump you straight into a wall if you're not careful. Some good old wormy fun that you can completely customize the look of with just one button. And here's one that's hot off the press, Neverway. Also known as the evil farming game, it was just officially announced by the pixel artist behind Celeste. It's a blend of horror, life sim, and action RPG where you, playing as Fiona, quit your job to work on a farm and become the immortal herald of a dead god, all the while searching for Neverway, which is this nightmare reality that's slowly leaking into your own. So yeah, take a minute to let that sink in. The more you watch this trailer, the better it gets. The colors here are just muted enough to be depressing and just vibrant enough to make me want to explore every inch of this island, and wherever Neverway is. This is definitely a game you should all have on your wish lists, no excuses. What's black and white and red all over? Well, it's this last handful of games, of course. 3 shooters, 3 perspectives, 3 colors. Superhot is honestly a legendary game, even better in VR if you ever get the opportunity. I'm hoping that all of you watching have already played it. It's got a super simple premise, simple visuals, but about a million ways a single level could unfold. I love bullet time in games because I can't aim, but this takes things a step further and lets me have all the time in the world to calculate my moves. But things don't always go according to plan, do they? OTXO is another game I already own, but for some reason I only played it for about 5 minutes. Must have been bad timing because it looks pretty sweet from this trailer. I see bullet time, so that's a good sign, but the main draw of this game is that it is tough. It's a roguelite set in a shifting mansion with nowhere to hide, and you'll fill it with pools of bright red blood as you work your way through each room. I feel like these days I have been gravitating more towards chill games, but whenever I'm in the mood again to be completely clobbered, I'm coming for ya, OTXO. And the final entry is a slightly more chill and forgiving shooter called Shotgun Cop Man. While I was making my way through this demo, the release date actually dropped, which is May 1st, thanks Devolver. You play as a very square-looking dude in a suit with a shotgun in one hand and a pistol in the other. Use them to propel through each level of hell and fight some demons along the way. As Steam says, it's a precision platformer where your weapons are your wings, and I think that sums things up quite beautifully. I always like a platformer that doesn't have a jump button and makes you use other clever ways to get around, and the double gun thing is pretty fun too. That's it for now. I could go on, but then again, I always could, meaning I'd probably never stop and probably never actually finish a video. And we wouldn't want that, now would we? So feel free to complete this list in the comments with your own favorite monochrome or close enough games, and I'll see you on the flip side.